Forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 6 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. We start tonight with Jake and Rebecca Haro. They were officially charged by the Riverside County District Attorney's Office today with the murder of their son, Emmanuel, and also making a false police report. That's tonight's top story. We have a look of the couple in the courtroom today. This was at the Hall of Justice in Riverside. Their arraignment was continued to September 4th. They're both being held tonight on $1 million bail. We've also learned that a news conference will be held tomorrow morning by the Riverside County District Attorney's Office regarding baby Emmanuel. Officials with the Riverside County Sheriff's Office and the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office will be there. It's set for 10 o'clock in the morning at the Riverside DA's office. We'll have live coverage right here tomorrow morning, starting at 10 o'clock.
And our coverage of the Haro's case continues this evening as the search for Emmanuel's remains continue and the memorial outside of his home grows even larger. Tonight, our Brett Rosen is live in Cabazon with more on what he's learned so far today. Brett.
Olivia here in Cabazon, just feet away from the front gates of the Haro home. Like you guys were saying earlier, it's only been a few days since both Rebecca and Jake Haro were arrested for the murder of their 7-month-old baby boy, Emmanuel Haro. Now, again today, a few hours ago, both parents were seen in front of a judge at the Hall of Justice in Riverside. Dozens of members of the media and general public were in attendance. Now the arraignment date has changed to September 4th. There was one public defender for both parents, Brian Crossgrove, who spoke outside the courthouse and explained the reason for the date change of the arraignment was due to one of them needing private counsel. Take a look.
In this county, there's something called the conflict panel. So it's private attorneys who have contracted with the county of Riverside. When we cannot represent somebody at the public defender's office, we declare a conflict, and a conflict attorney who is a private attorney that has a contract with the county represents the other individual. We'll have to figure out which case we'll keep. It depends if we've represented somebody in the past. So we'll go ahead and make that determination maybe today, and we'll be ready next week.
Now, right behind me, you can see some posters laying out on the gates of this Haro home, but right beside me too, the vigil that was seen this past Friday has grown significantly. Hundreds of flowers, stuffed toys, candles, signs saying justice for Emmanuel, Emmanuel never forgotten, all lined up on the side gate, feet away from the Haro home. Now I have a couple individuals right here with me. I have Elizabeth and Cindy coming over here to talk about, they've added to this vigil themselves. Can you guys talk to me a little bit about the emotion of a case like this? Both parents arrested for murder of their 7-month-old baby boy.
To be honest, I'm very upset and very angry. I think this is an injustice to this baby boy that never got a chance to even walk or even crawl. If we don't know that, I'm angry. I'm angry as to what's going on. It affects me personally because I have lost my son. And I wish I could have my son back, and he's not here. And for a mother to just, not care for her child, that I can't even conceive that. I can't even understand that.
Arraignment pushed back to September 4th. Any thoughts from you, Cindy?
Absolutely. On March 10th, I lost my son. And the day that I got a phone call from the police department that my son had passed away, it broke me to pieces. I was in shock. I was crying. There was tears in my eyes. It was horrible. And I still cry. I've been grieving all week for my son. All week I pray to have my son back, but I know God has him now. And for me to hear a few months after what has happened to Emmanuel, and I've been following the story, it really angers me because I know that lady was lying. Because with this right here, this pain I'm feeling right now is the loss of my son that I want back. And no one can bring him back because I know he's with God already. So her tears were fake. There was nothing there. She needs to get punished just like the father. They both need to get punished. And that bail should not be 1 million. No. There should be more. There should be more digging. Because I was there for my son from day one. Every single moment. I was there for my son. And my son passed away 5 months ago. And you cannot say that those parents were hurting.
No, thank you so much. No, thank you. And again, it's an emotional scene outside the Haro home. Tomorrow, there will be a press conference by the district attorney's office in Riverside. I will be out there as NBC Palm Springs will continue the coverage. Live in Cabazon outside the Haro home, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, Brett, thanks for bringing us that live report. Investigators are asking for your help tonight locating 3 missing people. Riverside County Sheriff's Department's Hemet Station is searching for a Hemet mother and her 2 children. You can see them right there on your screen. The woman there is Lisa Trejo Cordero. Her son is 2-year-old Jamison Fetchko, and her daughter, 4-year-old Memory Fetchko, were last seen August 6th in East Hemet. Before their disappearances, the mother was scheduled to meet with Child Protective Services to finalize custody arrangements for her children. If you know anything about their whereabouts, please call the number right there at the very bottom of your screen.
Let's turn now to the stormy weather that's hit the Coachella Valley this week. Some power outages have been reported impacting residents for the last 24 hours, particularly in the North Shore area. We sent a camera crew out this morning to find some power lines had been knocked over. According to Imperial Irrigation District's outage report map, only a handful of customers near the Salton Sea Visitor Center were without power this evening. Meanwhile, last night, community members opened up their doors to help.
You know what? My first thought was we can help these families. Our cafeteria is cool. It's a dry place. We were very lucky here in Westmoreland that the rain didn't affect us. And I would hope that somebody would do the same for my families if they were stranded. So we were just ready to help them.
All areas have reportedly been cleared of outages, but if you do see a downed power line in the area, IID urges you to stay safely away from it and any water that could be touching it, and call a crew to come in and repair it. With that, let's take a live look outside from our Agua Caliente casino camera in downtown Palm Springs, where things look calm right now. We had a lot of video in our newsroom from that Salton Sea area, Westmoreland area near Highway 86 last night, where cars were just quickly trapped in water. It's so scary how water just seems to rush through the valley here. But today, a little bit of a break for those families dealing with that.
Yeah, much quieter conditions. We talked about the 5 o'clock. We had mere sprinkles today, which is much better after, like we said, we get a lot of rain in a short amount of time here in the desert, and it really doesn't go anywhere. So it can cause an issue as far as that driving goes. As far as future accumulation, yeah, very light if anything. We'll talk about Thursday in just a moment with that tropical storm. But here's a look at those rainfall totals from yesterday. Just shy of half an inch of rain for Palm Springs, Palm Desert, over 1/10 of an inch. Sprinkles in the southeast end for Indio and Thermal. The high desert got nearly an inch of rain yesterday with that storm that we talked about that moved through in the afternoon and quite quickly brought a lot of rain in a short amount of time. Here's a look at that current radar this evening, showing a little bit over the Santa Rosa Mountains there, moving maybe a little bit into the Coachella Valley. As far as accumulation rain today, it's a trace, so we're not really getting a lot of accumulation today. Much drier conditions than yesterday. As far as future precipitation, the short range model taking us into 7 o'clock this evening. This model is showing that we'll get a little bit on the southeast end through the 8 o'clock hour. It'll taper off by 9 at 10 o'clock this evening. The North American model, a little different. It says we're done for the evening here in the Coachella Valley, maybe a little bit north of 29 Palms. Could see a little bit more sure, but about yeah, we're drying out for our Wednesday. Current weather conditions outside right now, 96 degrees at the airport. Those winds, not too bad. We're at the southeast direction with that ridge of high pressure to the east of us. As far as winds go here, there we go. Not too bad. Like I said, single digit winds on the desert floor, teens near the pass in Banning. So for Wednesday, yeah, we'll stay below average. A little bit of cloud cover out there, not tracking a lot of rain. More of that might move in as we get into our Thursday. Here's a look at your covered area 3-day forecast. So below average conditions through the rest of the work week. We get back to seasonal by the weekend. We'll break down more you can expect in that full forecast coming up.
All right, Chloe, thank you for that. New at 6 o'clock tonight, the redistricting proposition of California has left Democrats and Republicans feuding. While Republicans are against the prop, with the recent filing of an emergency petition to take this vote off the ballot, Democrats in favor of the vote say it's necessary to counter gerrymandering in Republican states. Our Fred Rogan spoke to Democrat Marcy Maxwell, the president of the Democrats of the Desert, about why she says this proposition is important.
the right to vote, the right for our citizens here in California to decide is the right way to do that. And this is temporary. It reverts back to the redistricting with the next census, which happens every 10 years anyway, with the Citizens Commission. So it's not, doing away with the commission, and it isn't permanent.
You can see that full interview with Marcy. It airs on the Rogan Report, which is right after this newscast. All right, coming up next tonight, the Powerball jackpot is soaring. We'll take a look at the numbers, including those odds of winning. That's next.
And coming up a little later on in our newscast, stick around for a big and bittersweet announcement here on NBC Palm Springs. Yes, it involves that woman right there, Chloe Carlson. So the announcement coming in that full forecast. And here's a look at your gold and silver prices. Don't go anywhere.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
Welcome back. All right, if you need more proof of just how incredibly unlikely it is to win the Powerball jackpot, no one's done it since May 31st.
That means the pot is rolling over after no one won again last night. Jackpot has now soared to $815 million. That's before tomorrow night's drawing. Makes it the 7th largest in the lottery's history. Cash value, the payout, if you win, lump sum would be about $368 million. The jackpot could go even higher if more people than expected buy tickets. Of course, that also increases the likelihood of a winner, or even multiple winners who would have to split the big prize. The odds of winning this jackpot are 1 in 292,201 and 338.
Best of luck to all who participate. Well, if you're interested in learning more about the world of cryptocurrency, CryptoFits has a handful of helpful resources he recommends. Take a look.
Well, people always ask, well, this sounds so fascinating and interesting, but, I've got a job, I've got a family. I don't have the time to go ahead and do all this research and live it like you do. Well, we point them to these 4 places. Number 1, there's a movie out called God Bless Bitcoin. It's not a religious film. It shows the ethical and moral attributes of Bitcoin and the importance of it, not just in this country, but around the world. And it also shows the unethical and immoral attributes of paper currency, nation-state fiat currency that's issued by the government at will. And you can view it for free on YouTube or on the website godblessbitcoin.com. All right, so that's step 1. Number 2, The Bitcoin white paper came out in 2008. It was written by the inventor of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. It's a 9-page document. I urge everyone, read it, give yourself a little time, a little patience. You might have to read it 2 or 3 times. Number 3, a book by the Austrian economist Saifedean Ammous. It's called The Bitcoin Standard. 3/4 of the way through the book, you haven't even heard the word Bitcoin in the book yet. You haven't read anything about Bitcoin. He takes you through the history of money and what used to be used for trading, and it gives you a real understanding about why our money is broken and why Bitcoin is the fix in many people's opinions. And then, last but not least, the Crypto Fits app. I have my latest podcast with a lot of luminaries in the space, a show of the week. There's 24-hour audio there. You can listen 10 minutes at a time, trying to walk people into this space and make sense of the importance of it. It's available on Google Play for Android or the Apple App Store for iPhones, and you can start your crypto education right now. Crypto Fits app.
All right, thanks to Crypto Fits for that. Giving you a live look tonight from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Chloe Carlson with multiple details after this break. Got the forecast and also a personal message from Chloe. We'll get that on the other side of this break.
And happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 cam in Rancho Mirage. Some good traffic there on the 111. Yeah, partly cloudy skies today. We had a little bit more of that sunshine peeking through the clouds this morning through the afternoon. A sprinkle of rain, but other than that, a beautiful day today and one to celebrate because it is National Dog Day. So what better way to celebrate than to showcase one of our dogs here in the desert. This is Max Hawkins Mesa. Hope I'm saying that right. This is what it's sent in by his owner, Jerry. So, Jerry, thank you so much for sending this in and celebrating Happy National Dog Day. If you have any other dog photos across the valley, send them in. We will showcase them tonight in the 11 o'clock show. As far as today's high, we are 96 for the high today, so well below average conditions. 107 is normal for us this time of year, but that storm moving through, that monsoonal moisture has been keeping us well below average. And I don't hear any complaints about that, especially after we were in an extreme heat warning, which felt like for a couple of weeks. 91 right now in Desert Hot Springs, 95 on the other side of the 10 there in 1,000 Palms. Overnight tonight, we will be staying in the 80s here for the desert floor. As far as winds, not a huge concern for us this week. Picked up a little bit as that storm moved through yesterday. We had gusts about 40 miles per hour. Breezy for us today, Wednesday and Thursday. They pick up a little bit for those wind-prone areas. No wind advisory level winds. They'll get 20 mile per hour sustained winds, so those gusts will be in the 30s. Surface moisture, much different than what we are used to. We're normally 5%. Today, especially if you went outside this morning, you felt it. We will definitely be drying out by the end of the work week, but keep in mind this is still well above what we are used to. So it's still going to feel muggy as we round out the work week. Rainfall estimates for our Wednesday. Yeah, not a big chance for us here on the desert floor. Ensemble models are saying maybe a sprinkle for Santa Rosa Mountains. We're tracking this, though, for tropics. This is a tropical storm, Juliet, that is moving along the coast of the Baja Peninsula and weakening with those warm surface temperatures. But keep in mind, with that uplift of moisture on Thursday, we'll see a lot of cloud cover, so mostly cloudy skies come Thursday, as well as a light chance of rain for us here on the desert floor. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. So below average to the rest of the work week. Again, we are going to be staying right around seasonal as we get into the weekend. A dry weather pattern for next week. So.
All right. Well, thank you for that update, Chloe. And speaking of updates, we have a bittersweet one to share tonight. We said we had a big announcement. If you missed our 5 o'clock newscast, this is Chloe's last week with us here at NBC Palm Springs. We're not going to cry yet.
Not yet.
Maybe she's crying already. We're going to cry on Friday because that's when the big bash is planned. So please join us for the Chloe Carlson Farewell Bash at the Palm Springs Surf Club. Go to our website and RSVP so that we know you'll be there. You can join us live and help us say goodbye to Chloe after 4 amazing years of doing just about everything here at NBC Palm Springs, including PS Unwrapped, your weather, so many live reports. So it will truly be a very well-deserved celebration.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to do everything here in the desert. I've had the best last 4 years. We have amazing viewers here. I had 2 kids here. So very sad to go, but we will be moving to San Diego for Chris got a job there. He is in the Marines, as we know. But yes, excited to celebrate with the whole crew here, and gonna miss this place. Saving the tears, as she said. So
yes. All right. Well, we have some more news coming up after the break, so we're not crying just yet. We'll see you in a few minutes.
The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, welcome back. The golf capital of the West will add a new look to one of its nicest resorts later this year. The Players Course at the Indian Wells Golf Resort getting a makeover. Renovations already underway since about March. Course architect John Vogt and his team decided to reroute the most notable 9th, 17th, and 18th holes. The once par 72 course will now be a par 71. Holes 17 and 18 will also finish on the north side of the course, so no more driving over the wash to finish the course the furthest possible way from the clubhouse. We had a chance to speak with John this afternoon on his thoughts on the redesign.
The golf course is going to play much faster and better, in my opinion, now we did that. I think they'll immediately notice how much more intimate the golf course is. This is not a golf course with houses on it, which makes it more traditional type golf. So the reality is they're going to be able to, you walk off of a green that you've just played right onto the next tee. And I mean, this golf course could be walkable or it can play much faster, in my opinion. And I think for almost every player that plays the golf course, I think it'll be much more fun.
Certainly some better views. I think the general public will absolutely enjoy it. For a more in-depth look at the new Players course, we'll have more on our website tonight at NBCPalmSprings.com. Now, the Firebirds added more depth to the D-room. Two-time Kelly champ, the trophy, and the ECHL, Zach Ewens. He'll call the Desert home this season. The 24-year-old has played in 27 AHL games with the Charlotte Checkers over 3 seasons, but played a big role in bringing 2 titles to the Florida Everblades. Ewens was a Hobie Baker Award nominee. That's the award given to the best college player in the country. Well, that'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Time for entertainment news tonight. Here's David Daniel.
It's time.
The sing-along version of the smash hit K-pop Demon Hunters is now streaming. Plenty of people didn't wait for it to reach Netflix. A theatrical version reportedly sold out more than 1,000 screens on Saturday and Sunday, making it the #1 movie at the weekend box office. Guillermo del Toro has a new gig. The American Film Institute has named the Oscar-winning filmmaker guest artistic director for its AFI Fest, October 22nd through the 26th in Hollywood. The festival's opening night film, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Jeremy Allen White as the boss.
There's no doubt about it.
Jennifer Lopez also has an upcoming honor. The performer is set to receive the Virtuoso Award at the SCAD Savannah Film Festival, November 1st at the Savannah College of Art and Design. She'll be lauded for her career, including her upcoming role in Kiss of the Spider-Woman, opening in theaters October 10th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
brighter side of the news is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
Oh my gosh, it's pumpkin spice season. Fall is here, everybody. Oh.
Fall is here, the long-awaited return of pumpkin spice, and we have some local super fans racing to go grab this sweet treat. Those are some NBC Palm Springs viewers who sent us this video. That's Jeffrey Ewell and Brian Duke. They even took their pumpkin spice colored mobile. Did you see it right there? Nice. Yeah, they've got the orange car, capitalizing on the special day. Some footage of the car there, and of course them grabbing those drinks today because pumpkin spice officially returned at Starbucks. I have to say, I accidentally tried a pumpkin spice latte one time because they messed my drink up. And when you're not expecting pumpkin, it's not really that good, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it's just unexpected.
But it's good flavor. Did you guys get your?
No.
Okay.
Not a pumpkin guy.
I'll have to wait for mine, but I did like the dog. The dog had a pumpkin vest on, which is very cute.
Decorated.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We're back here for the news at 11. Please join us for that. Meantime, we're going to send things over to Fred Rogan. He's got the latest on the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark. The Rogan Report is presented by The Living Desert.
Somebody's in trouble, and that somebody is us. People are mad at us and said we didn't do our job. Well, let's see if we do it tonight. Happy Tuesday. We got a lot of emails after last night's show. Many were not pleased about our conversation concerning redistricting in California. And more than a few didn't like the fact we had La Quinta City Councilman Steve Sanchez on. We're biased. Not true. We're dominated by Republican commentators. Not true. You just disagreed with what you heard last night. For the record, we never tell people on the show what to say. We never know what they're going to say, and we have never asked anybody about their political affiliation. Some people wrote there's a need to combat fascism and hold politicians accountable. As far as local politicians, I think we do a pretty good job of that. From Matt, we need to fight back against fascism on every front. I am offended by your useless dinosaur commentators. Do you ever show the other side of this issue? You know we always do. Many expressed worries about gerrymandering and its implications with some supporting California's approach to allow voters a say in redistricting, contrasting it with Texas's methods, and criticized our politicians who refuse to engage with their constituents. Rick said, I was against the anti-gerrymandering of our congressional districts until the GOP threw out civility and fairness values. I'm glad we're not bringing slingshots to gunfights anymore. Andrew wrote, we got screwed. Ken Calvert refuses to meet with constituents. Do a story on that. Carol found Sanchez's sudden fiscal worries laughable. Worried about the millions in redistricting? Come on, Steve. What about the millions you've dished out for the failed Silver Rock? And now the 11 million more you just gave. Look in your own backyard, Steve. Multiple individuals accused the program of bias, arguing that it presents a one-sided view by featuring predominantly Republican guests and failing to include Democratic voices. From George, all your guests are Republicans. That's not true. So that's not a balanced report. It is great that the governor is standing up to Trump. That's what this redistricting is all about. Have some Democrats on your program. From Paul, Sanchez is connected to Right Path California, a Republican group whose flyers opposing Newsom's redistricting efforts have been appearing 5 days a week in voter mailboxes. One commenter, Mike, seeks clarification on how redistricting works, questioning the advantages of changing district affiliations. So I was wondering if you could explain in simple to understand how this redistricting works. In my mind, seems like if you turn a district from red to blue or vice versa, if there are more blue votes in a red district, the blue votes would still win. So basically, what I'm wondering is what is the advantage? This is a serious subject, but this next one had me laughing. I will not be watching your program any longer, but maybe I'll watch tomorrow to see if you retract or reverse some of the anti-districting reporting, which is supposed to be apolitical. We weren't reporting. We were interviewing. And if you did turn in tonight, Keep watching. But first, let's hit some Facebook comments. Vicky, if we are to keep democracy alive, maintain and add to our freedoms, and get rid of the chaos in D.C. and across the U.S., we must fight fire with fire and pass the redistricting bill. Tony, go cry to Texas. Texas could have made all this go away. Alana, this news station is biased and not unbiased in reporting as it should be. Seriously? Really? So all of you thought we were biased, which if you watch this show for 5 seconds each and every night, or any night, you know we're not. But all you want to hear is the other side. And who better to share it than Marcy Maxwell, President of Democrats of the Desert. Marcy, thanks for being here. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Fred. Glad to be here.
Marcy, you mad at me?
I'm not so mad at you, but I know a lot of people that are mad at you.
Why are they mad at me?
Your interview last night with your guest, Steve Sanchez, and your own comments really offered only one point of view for Proposition 50 coming up.
Okay.
And we feel like that's a key election for Californians and for all Americans, and there wasn't any consideration given to the importance of the yes vote.
Okay, well, why don't you talk about the yes vote?
Well, here's what happened. We heard President Trump demand that Texas redraw their congressional maps, and the Texas governor and the legislature complied. They had zero input from their public and zero input in a vote. And California is concerned about that. California's concerned about, issues and experiences with the president's overreach at this point in time. And our governor expressed that he was interested, and many other folks, quite frankly, were interested in doing something about that. And we have a way to do that.
Okay.
So we have a proposition coming up.
Very good. And however these are redrawn in Texas, how does that affect California?
Well, if Texas redraws their map and they have basically full control over the number of folks that they may elect, they're going to affect the majority in Congress. And when you affect the majority, you affect who makes the decisions on committee chairs and agendas and floor votes and even voices. And we don't feel that it's right.
You're saying that what they're doing in Texas is going to affect things nationally, and that's why this is so important in California. Do I have it right?
Absolutely. California, needs to step up and take a lead. We need to fight for democracy in this age of, quite frankly, emergency. And that's what we're doing. And, we're not doing it through a Democratic legislature or the governor making an executive order or anything like that. We're doing that through the voters. So what's happening here is that the proposition that's going to be on the November 4th ballot will give voters in California the opportunity to say yes or no about drawing new maps and making sure that we have a chance to have our Congress folks have a voice as well as Texas and the rest of the states. Republicans and Democrats, this is not about a partisan vote for us. This is about a vote, for us to protect the democracy in our nation and the fact that we have a right to vote.
All right. Marcy, did I fix it? Did I present the other side now?
Well, I'd love to come back and present more. We need to remind the voters along the way. They'll get their ballots about the 6th or so of October. It's one vote. It's not 4 pages like we usually get in November and so forth. So it's a very easy thing to do. Cast that vote, sign and date your envelope and put it in the mail or Dropbox or wherever. We just want to make sure that people are voting, and the right to vote on this day. This is Women's Equality Day, the day that we're celebrating women having the right to vote. On this day, we especially want to acknowledge the right to vote and vote for this proposition.
All right. All right, Marcy, I took care of it. You came on, you explained it, we did it. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
I appreciate that.
And thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And if you're keeping track at home, and I'm sure many of you now are, Marcy's interview was longer than Steve Sanchez. Tammy Bleck, Brad Ward are contributors, so people angry that all the commentators were against the proposition. Do you feel we ought to coach our guests on what to say, Tammy?
Well, what would be the point of that, right? I mean, you are good at soliciting opinions so that you can get a roundabout view. So no, I mean, but I will say that counterbalance is always good, right? There's two sides to every story. So I think you made that right. And Marcy should be happy that she got more time. Back me up on this, Brad.
I agree with you, Tammy. I mean, you and Fred, you invited us here to voice our opinions because you wanted local opinions in this show. So if you're coaching us, then we're not really able to do that.
Were we too late to have a Democrat on to speak? Because oftentimes, you know, we do one thing one night, then we have somebody else on the next night to talk about it. Now, were we too late having a Democrat on? God forbid we ever do that again. Oh, no. Even though we had no idea what the contributors thought before the segment? I mean, should we guess what people are going to say and then try to line it up to work, Brad?
Absolutely not. You know, I think what you're trying to do here, or what you tried to do here today, was have both sides represented. You did that. You know, if you have a different, if people have a different opinion than those who you interview, that's their problem. You gave both a voice, Tammy.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I'm not, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not particularly a shy person, and I have no problem sharing my opinion because I'm entitled to it, and it is, in fact, just my opinion. But I think that there is just so much hostility out there and so much anger and so much defensiveness, and it's like, let people have their opinion. You know, you don't have to like it. You can listen or not listen. You can mute it. You can turn away. Whatever, your choices are yours. But a true discussion involves both sides and a respect for opinion, which I think there's pretty little of.
All right. You ready for this one now? Did we upset people with that one? Let's get to CVUSD. Parents and taxpayers thought they were getting more oversight when Assemblyman Jeff Gonzalez asked for a state audit. Instead, the local school district fought hard to block it. The board pushed back, even brought in State Senator Steve Padilla. Oh, no, that's the superintendent. There's Steve. To convince his colleagues to vote against it. In the end, the effort wasn't about transparency. It was about keeping the books closed. Now the Coachella Valley Unified School District says it's bringing in outside help to steady its finances. CVUSD has signed on with the state's Fiscal Crisis and Management Assistance Team, better known as FCMAT, for a deep dive into the district's books. It's built as a no-cost analysis made possible through the backing of State Senator Steve Padilla, who absolutely killed the state audit. With the new information out, Tammy, does it look like the district was trying to cover something up?
Gee, you think? Do you think when you work that hard at keeping something from coming to the surface? You know, and we've talked about this before, and it's more true now than it ever was. These people should not hold that office. And I think there's a good group of them, but you need to be a lot more transparent, not a little bit. And yeah, they're covering it up, and I think they're not good people for doing that. They're doing our work for us. So I would refer you to Brad and see, please tell me you agree.
Spin, spin, sugar is the lyric that comes to mind when I read this. I mean, no one is surprised by this turn of events, but let's not be disingenuous about what FCMAT does. They're the department you go to when you're in financial trouble.
Yeah. So do you think Sacramento should step in harder when local leaders resist financial oversight, Brad?
Yes, I do. And I think there should be less hubris and more humility coming from CVUSD right now. They've been caught and they're treating this like they've been singled out for their exemplary behavior when that's really not the truth. Tammy?
I love the word hubris. I do. I think it's absolutely true. I think they're getting away with murder, and I think that's about to stop. I pray that's about to stop. But it's ongoing, and it's so corrupt. It's just, I don't know another word to say other than corruption.
Well, no matter where you stand politically or in regards to CVUSD, can we all agree it's just best to find a good neighbor? Didi La Quinta is looking for a contractor to build her a pool house. Who's up for that job? John in Cathedral City needs to find someone to install 3 new ceiling fans for him. Ronnie Palm Desert wants to learn to play canasta. She's looking for somebody to teach her. Linda Rancho Mirage needs a recommendation for a home massage therapist who can point her toward some good hands.
Is it true opposites attract?
If we're different, it makes it more exciting.
Hey, let's bridge the gap. Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
All right, that's enough. Shave it off. I'm sorry, I was just looking at my phone. You know, I check comments during the show. Virtual Joe. Funniest show opening segment ever. Thank you. Thank you, Virtual Joe. So Qantas Airlines is stirring up a real dust storm by trying to ban beards for all their pilots, including those working for their regional arm, Qantas Link. They claim it's all about safety. Facial hair might mess with oxygen mask seals. But pilots and experts over at Embry-Riddle University say that's old thinking. That's stinking thinking. Pointing to newer research showing beards don't actually interfere with mask performance. The result, pilots are pushing back hard. Unions are pushing back harder, highlighting one heck of a double standard because cabin crew gets more relaxed grooming rules. What a night this has been. Brad, do we trust airline decisions when they're backed by contested science?
This is cherry-picked confirmation bias, if ever there was any. The fact that they wrap their bias in a scientific study that's 50 years old and does not include the factors of risk that apply here only makes their argument more hollow and misguided. I expect more from the Australians. Tammy?
Wait a minute. Before we get to Tammy, Brad, I have to tell you something. Now, after considering the story and seeing you, I think it's unsafe for you to wear your beard when you're on the show. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, I object.
Tammy?
I shaved mine this morning, so I think we're both good. You know, the world is on fire, and they're discussing and upset and suing and protesting being able to wear a beard. I mean, get over it and get a life. It's their company. It's their rules. If you don't want to abide by them, don't work there. Go fly for somebody else. I mean, and it really peeved me off is that they were very upset that they used illicit, what was it called? Illicit vocabulary, that risky, and it made it sound very like potentially catastrophic. Well, it is potentially catastrophic if you can't put your oxygen mask on because you have a beard. I mean, this is just, it's craziness. I don't know. I think we have bigger fish to fry. I would think so, don't you?
Yeah, I would think so. What do you think, Brad? Bigger fish to fry?
As a man who wears a beard, don't tell me what I can wear to and from the office.
All right. Mannix. The name is Mannix.
Riddle me this. What can fill a room but takes up no space?
You know, I check comments, right? I was quite disappointed in your presentation of the argument of who you have presenting or not presenting your issues about specific issues. Tonight was basically issues from last night's show. This is from Melinda. Correct. The argument about who's presenting and who's not is accurate because we don't ask them their political affiliation, nor do we tell them what to do. I admired your show and my family look forward to tuning in, but tonight I felt you were not happy with some of the criticism of some, and the way you had handled it tonight was not your best self. I apologize if you didn't feel that way, but I had to be honest with you. We present both sides. And we didn't do it last night, we did it tonight. And people were really upset. And quite frankly, I thought they overreacted. And you know something? We're proud of what we did tonight. Through some thorough detective work, NBC Palm Springs historian Steve Summerall has found a direct link between our valley and one of TV's most popular private eyes. It's a story that goes back almost 60 years and is the focus of this edition of Desert in a Minute.
Before Colombo, before Rockford, there was Mannix. And Joe Mannix's first adventure was in Palm Springs. Mannix premiered on September 16th, 1967.
Yeah, I'll do it, Dubrio, but not for you, for the girl.
In this pilot episode, he would visit our fair city while trying to track down the kidnapped daughter of a retired mobster. This episode served as an action-packed tour of Palm Springs, from the airport to the date groves to the aerial tramway to a climactic battle with a helicopter over one of our many golf courses. Mannix star Mike Connors stated that he received 2 injuries during the filming of the pilot, which would cause him some discomfort throughout the rest of his life. He dislocated his shoulder during the helicopter scene, and during this fight, he broke his left wrist when his punch made contact with a steel back brace that he didn't know the other actor was wearing. For Desert in a Minute, this is NBC Palm Springs historian Steve Sumrall.
All right, your daily dose of cuteness when we return.
Report was presented by the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens.
We're in the desert. Give us your hot take. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan.
You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com. Don't desert us in the desert.
What can fill up a room but takes no space? Light.
So our friend Dr. Doug DDS, Evolution Dental, texted me during the show. This is what he wrote. Let Mannix take care of the complainers. NBC Palm Springs goes 24/7. Check out the website, the show page, the Rogan Report. Content from tonight is up there and past shows as well. We appreciate you being a part of it. It is an exchange of ideas, so keep exchanging. Wheel of Fortune's next.